my opinion, Hurricane Ida was a blessing in disguise for the Saints.
Packers fans are idiots.
George Kittle loves to get yards, especially after the catch.
Welcome back to Certified Beef. The 2023 NFL season has begun, and me and Brandon are here to give some of our mediocre takes, some hot takes, and some very steamy takes for the season. And also, the annual Book It With Beef starts this week. We give our picks. This year we're going to be doing it a little bit different. We'll explain when we get there. Yeah, Brandon, how was week one? I'm going to say that was probably the worst week one for me of all time.
Of all time?
That was pretty bad, Brandon.
I mean, it's nice that football's back. Always positive on that side, but I guess, not a lot of the games were entertaining. Like, we had the Saints and Titans, 16-15. Like, Cardinals Commanders wasn't too enticing either. Lots of blowouts for some reason, but I mean, the Vikings screwed me so bad because I picked all 7 noon winners correct except for the Vikings. Lost me $312.
Damn.
So, yeah.
It was just more like the teams that I didn't want to win won. And then obviously the Vikings lost, and it was just awful. Like, everything went bad pretty much for me that did. And then last night, it's crazy. For how much I've said about the man, I respect him as a football player. I felt so bad about Aaron Rodgers last night.
Really? That's a big change of heart from you.
Unbelievable. Like, that shows how much of a good person I am. Oh my God, it got me dying laughing. I felt so, obviously, yesterday, 9/11, I obviously I wasn't alive during that time, but it's always just an emotional day. It always feels different every year. That day just feels different. Today, better day, but yesterday, it kind of just weighs on you a little bit. That's just me. But yeah, and then tag that on to the Aaron Rodgers thing. I don't know. It really felt like a shitty day. And also, that I'm glad the Jets won. They needed to win that game. That'd have been horrible if they would have lost that game.
Just the whole spectacle that this is what the entire NFL offseason was built on, was Aaron Rodgers is now a New York Jet. Makes his debut on a significant day in New York, U.S. history.
Yeah, exactly.
Carrying the flag out of the tunnel.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome.
In 4 plays is
it's
something you never want to see.
And I knew it right away. I knew it right away when they said it. When I saw the card, I knew exactly what happened when they talked about his calf injury during the preseason. I knew exactly what it was, and it sucked. And I hope he comes back. That sounds crazy for me to say, but I hope he comes back.
Pat McAfee says he's going to, so
the reason why I hope he comes back is because the Jets deserve better. The Jets are a cursed franchise at this point. Yeah, I don't think they've been unlikable. That's the thing that's crazy. Is I can't remember a player that or a team of the Jets that made them unlikable.
I don't know. I think it's more the fan base, but yes.
I mean, they're better than Giants fans. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, it was just a crazy day. It just sucked. I'm looking forward for him to come back next year. I think the Jets have a great roster. I think this was their year. Honestly, I think that they're gonna struggle maybe with money wise. Maybe looking in next year. Hopefully not. But yeah, it just sucks. If there was a team outside of the Vikings, I wanted the Jets to win the Super Bowl.
Fair enough.
Because it would just be so funny to see Aaron Rodgers win a Super Bowl in his first year with the Jets. With the only positive that came out of this, Brandon, is the Packers don't get a first round pick.
Yeah, but they still get second.
Okay, that's not that good as first. So
no, but you still get good players in the second. So it's.
I just thought I also that bar or whatever where they were giving out free drinks if everyone's tab was free if the Jets lost, and then they cheered when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Just shows how much of a scumbag fan base they are. And they deserve to have to pay their tabs. So, that was
Nothing personal. Just thinking with their wallet. That's what one guy said.
That was a joke. It was completely personal. But yeah, we're just going to get right into it. We're going to have some cold takes, some cold takes is it's obvious. Yeah, obvious. That's what I thought. So we're going to have one cold, one medium, kind of a little spicy, and then we're going to have super hot takes. 2 of those. Yeah. We're going to hop right into it. Brandon, what is your cold take for the 2022 or 2023-2024 NFL season?
Well, for some reason, my cold take is one of them that took the longest to come up with. But then it was very obvious to me. My take is San Francisco wins the NFC West by at least 3 games.
Wow.
They took on I would say, I don't know, a solid, not great Steelers team in Pittsburgh to open the year and completely throttled them. Their biggest competition, we think, is going to be the Seattle Seahawks, and they looked awful against the LA Rams, who are not a very good team themselves.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are going to be one of the worst teams in football, and the 49ers get to play them twice. I don't think the Rams are going to be consistent enough to be taken into even playoff consideration.
Yeah.
And so the 49ers also have one of the best rosters and coaching staffs in the entire league, and they are in one of the weaker divisions this year. So I don't think 3+ games is a stretch at all to take the division.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have a bet with JJ just based off wins for both of our teams, and if the Seahawks get less than 8.5 wins, he owes me alcohol. So it will both be 21, so obviously we don't support underage drinking.
You sure about that?
We'll both be 21 at the time, so it's looking solid so far, and I that's why I don't think it's a stretch, because I think the Seahawks have a very good chance of regressing this year. Yeah, so I don't disagree with your take at all. Mine is Giants miss the playoffs easily by 3 games.
Oh, okay.
This is not, I don't think this is a hot take at all. That roster is not good. Daniel Jones is a pile of shit. He is awful. 15 touchdowns last year got him $40 million a year just because he beat the Vikings in the playoffs, which are also flukes, and we all knew it. The only reason why I was saying they weren't is because I'm a Vikings fan. I knew it deep down, and it's showing this year. So I'm a realist. I am a realist. I know for a fact it's just I have hope. But Daniel Jones is garbage. That roster is not good. The offensive line is bad. They have very little talent at wide receiver, if any. And their defense, talent-wise, isn't great. The only reason why they are noted as a solid defense is because of Wink Martindale. If they did not have Wink Martindale, they would be an average to below average defense. And I think that's going to show. I get that it's raining, but you lost by 40 points. The rain does not cost you to lose by 40 points.
No,
not you just got absolutely dick down. And I honestly think that minimum, I think you're going to need 9 to 10 wins to get in the playoffs in the NFC. So that means I honestly think they're going to finish with 6 or 7 wins. They're awful. They're a horrible team.
I can see that because the years when it was last year was Dane Dime's only good year.
And it wasn't even good. That's the craziest thing.
Right. It wasn't extraordinary. And even when they've had their offense is basically the same it has been for the past couple of years before last season. So that was not a very good offense by any means. It was all loaded onto Saquon and see if he can do his thing and carry them to a win. And then the defense, they got a good, or at least above average front 7, but then besides that, it's garbage. It's absolutely garbage.
Yeah, I mean, they have Xavier McKinney, but after that, it's we don't know. And the thing is, one thing is that, what the fuck was I going to say? Oh, last year, they won 8 one-score games. And people always mention that about the Vikings, and it's not mentioned about the Giants enough. And the Giants were a much worse team than the Vikings last year, I think, personally. But that's just me. And I think that's when it comes to Wink Martindale. I think that's literally the only reason why they're a relevant team in talks of the playoffs. I think they're garbage. But yeah, I think that's a pretty obvious take that they're going to miss the playoffs. Maybe by 3 games, that might be a little stretch, but I think missing the playoffs is fucking obvious as hell.
Especially what Dallas showed us and what we know Philly is.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that, like, NFC East, like, that's 4 games right there that you got a pretty solid chance that you're going to lose. And, like, the Commanders aren't exactly slouches either. It's not like they're bottom dwellers like they used to be.
I honestly think, like, Giants don't beat the Cow. I think they go, like, 1-5 in the division.
I could definitely see that. For sure.
They're not good. So, yeah, they're not a good team, and it's gonna show. All right, Brandon, we'll go spicy. Your spicy take.
My kind of mild to medium take. If he learns how to slide, Anthony Richardson will win the Offensive Rookie of the Year, possibly by a sizable margin. There was a very talented QB and skill position class this year. I get that. But do you know what people love? Do you know what voters love? They love gutsy performances. And that's what Anthony Richardson put on against the Jaguars in week 1. I think one thing that will really help him win this award is his skill group around him. Now, we know Jonathan Taylor is up in the air if he's like going to get traded. What's going to happen? He's trying to get back in week 5 off the PUP list. That will definitely help. But like you got Pittman, like Alec Pierce, like that's a better skill group than any of the other rookie quarterbacks have. Like Bijan did not have a great day against the Carolina defense in week 1. Like Anthony Richardson, 24 for 37, 223, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 interception. Like I think like people love their dual threat QBs. I think that CJ Stroud will finish in second because he did have a better day passing, or I guess in terms of yards, against a better Ravens defense. But he did not pass for any touchdowns week 1. He didn't hardly scramble at all, and his wide receivers are pretty garbo. It's Robert Woods and John Mechie's in the mix a little bit, and Nico Collins. Like, that's not something to brag about. So, yeah, Anthony Richardson, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I don't hate that, honestly. He looks solid. Besides that 1 pick, he actually didn't play bad at all, and people thought he was going to be kind of bad this year.
He's already questionable, though, because of that late hit. And
I think he's going to play.
I think he will, too.
They said it was they said it was, what was it? They said it was something. It was like most people played through it or something like that.
That's why they just have to put him. Slide.
I think they have to put him on the injury report, or else they wouldn't, because I think he's gonna play.
Yeah, he's that type of guy.
Yeah, my mild take. Some people might think it's hot, but Justin Fields is a bust. Justin Fields is gonna prove that he is a bust. People compare him to Lamar Jackson in the development. People forget that Lamar Jackson won his MVP in his 2nd season, and Justin Fields is into his 3rd season, and he is nowhere near close to what Lamar Jackson was. And Lamar Jackson didn't start his first year all that much either. So I think this is going to prove itself. Plus, we all know Ohio State quarterbacks never turn out. They never turn out. CJ Stroud, we don't know yet, obviously, but they just don't turn out. They don't play good enough. They play an air raid offense in the Big Ten, and they don't play good NFL defense, comparable NFL defenses, maybe one time out of the year. So, yeah, I just think Justin Fields isn't that good. And I think it's also the problem is the offensive line isn't going to help him. The play calling is going to negate him. But I just don't think he's that good anyways. I think it's crazy how good of a passer he was in college, and he didn't run that much, and how much it's like flipped in the NFL. It's kind of weird, but I think it's just the Ohio State quarterbacks. They just don't Just like Bama quarterbacks, they're never good in the NFL. They just never translate.
Are you calling Bryce Young a bust?
No, I'm not saying he is either. I'm saying they just, over the years, we've seen this more time and time again. Ohio State quarterbacks just don't translate to the NFL. And I think Justin Fields is slowly and surely but proving that. And I think by the end of the year, he's going to prove that he is a bust. And if they have a top 5 pick, they should look to move on from him.
Like trade up to that 1 or 2?
Like I'm saying, if they have
deal?
a top 5 pick and the teams around them are taking quarterback, I think you should take Drake May.
Okay.
If you don't have Caleb Williams. Or you go get, like if the Cardinals finish first and they want Kyler, you trade both the Carolina pick and your pick and go get Caleb Williams. I honestly think they need to move on. I think Justin Fields, and it's just also probably the Bears, they can't have a good quarterback. That also probably doesn't help. But yeah, I just think I don't think he's good. I also just don't think he's that good compared to like the other quarterbacks from that draft. Like I honestly, like, call me crazy, I honestly think that Justin Fields, like if Zach Wilson were to finish a full season, I honestly think that he would be about the same as Justin Fields passing wise. I don't think they're that much different.
Okay.
And I think he'll prove it this year too. I think Zach Wilson would be a lot better this year than he was last year. Like less turnovers, he might not complete his passes as well. Like Justin Fields, Brandon, has never thrown for over 300 yards in a game. Ever. His best year was it was either last year or no, his first year, he threw for like 290. He didn't even throw for like 275 yards last year in a single game. And he started
It's crazy.
every game besides like the last 2. They negate him and he's just not a good passer. So I just think he's going to be a bust. And I think he is a bust already, but I think he will be a bust for sure at the end of the season. All right. Brandon, your super hot takes for the NFL season. We'll just go one at a time. It'll go
One at a time.
go.
I agree.
Your first
all
hot
right.
take.
My first hot take. So, this is playing with fire because it's never happened. But the Steelers go under 500 for the first time in Mike Tomlin's career. He's hired 15 years ago. They've always been above 500 since he's gotten there. But week 1, they were absolutely atrocious. No other way to put it. You can't start that bad at home, where Pittsburgh has one of the better home field advantages in the NFL, I'd say. A very devoted fan base there. But, like, they were 33% on first down. That's not going to cut it in a division that's known for its defense. Najee,
Garbage.
Garbage.
He sucks.
Him and Kay Pickett only had 10 carries when that's one of their strengths, is having a power running back plus a guy who can extend and scramble. Like one of your security blanket, Freiermuth only had 1 reception on 4 targets. Like, granted, his thing was a touchdown, but that was only a 3-yard pass. They didn't look for him at all besides that. They're stuck in the AFC North, where realistically, all the other 3 teams could finish with 10+ wins. I think that just slides the Steelers down, and their schedule is not very easy coming up because, like, immediately now Monday night against the Browns, at Raiders, at Texans, sure, you can win those. But then the Ravens, bye week, Rams, they looked very solid. Then the Jaguars, it's like they don't get too many breaks here. So, like, it's like I said, it's playing with fire on how they've never done it before. But I think maybe this is the year, and maybe it's best for them if they have another year of Kenny Pickett and George Pickens development. They get a high draft pick for next year. Maybe it all works out for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. Did you know that they have lost 5 of their last 6 home openers?
I did not know that.
So they struggle to start at home during the season. I don't think it's a horrible take. I just think eventually, like, given this, like, this week they could easily win this game. Playing at home, it's hard to bet against Mike Tomlin. Also,
I don't
it
know,
just
man.
sucks.
The Browns looked really, really good.
No, I get that. It just sucks that what's it called? Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are the Saints and Panthers game and not this game next week. Kind of sucks. Disappointing. Yeah, no, it's not horrible. I'm not saying it's a bad take by any means. I think they've struggled to start at home in like their last 6 seasons, so it's not like it's obviously they played horrible. Like if it was a close game, it'd be different, but they did play bad. But I also think that Matt Canada will get fired eventually, but halfway through the season, and that will help. But yeah, no, I'm not saying I don't know. It's that one's the one I try to. It's kind of like when you just don't bet against coaches. I just try not to bet against Mike Tomlin.
That's why it's hot.
Yeah. All right. My super hot take, first one. The Browns win the division. People might say this is not hot after the first week. I think that game was just ugly from the rain. Especially the rain. That game was gross. And I would still think people probably think that they're the third best team in the division, maybe even the fourth. But yeah, I think that Deshaun Watson is going to make a rebound, not to the point where you might see 2020 Houston Texans Deshaun Watson, but to the point where their defense is also legit. I think Jim Schwartz is a massive pickup that many people aren't going to realize, but he is one of the better defensive minds around in the league. And that defense is going to fly around the football. They got great corners, great secondary, and their defensive line. Fucking Myles Garrett is doing crossovers into fucking swim moves.
Zadarius.
And yeah, fucking Zadarius.
And Dalvin Tomlinson.
Yeah. So they just
Vikings built that team.
Yeah. So, and I think they have enough weapons on offense. They always have a good offensive line. I just think they have a very good team for the AFC North, built for the AFC North, and I don't know. I think this is a good year for the Browns. And they started off hot. They started off with a good win, absolutely shellacked the Bengals. And I think that if they beat the Steelers here, they might start going on a roll. And we might see the Browns hosting a playoff game, which would be absolutely nuts.
They do get to play the Bengals one more time, and Joe Burrow is now 1-6, is it? Or 1-5?
1-5, I think.
1-5 against the Browns.
Very cool.
They did just lose Jack Conklin, one of their tackles. But,
yeah, that's true.
I'm not too worried because Deshaun is not made of stone. He can scramble. So, that's not the most, worrisome to me. So, yeah.
And obviously,
it.
A lot of these are, hot takes. So, or just any take after the week one, it's definitely an overreaction. But just based off what I saw and what is going to come, I think, the rest of the year, that's just how I feel. But, yeah. All right. Your second hot take, Brandon.
I think Sunday afternoon took me a while to come up with this one, but thinking it back, Sunday afternoon kind of solidified this, and also Monday night's game helped. The AFC East is now the Dolphins to lose. I think they put up the most points in week one, I'm pretty sure. They went into a good Los Angeles Chargers team, took them down, made clutch plays. That catch by Tyreek Hill at the end of the game was freaking insane. Their defense stepped up when they needed to. And then looking around the rest of the division, the Patriots, they're not a great team overall. They did look pretty good against the Eagles, except for a couple of the offensive turnovers they had by Zeke and stuff. And then the Jets, obviously, you're losing Aaron Rodgers. That moves you back a couple spots, especially when those spots lead to Zach Wilson. The defense there is still good. I didn't know that Jordan Whitehead only had 7 career interceptions up until that game, and he got 3 more. And then Josh Allen, I know you're the big Josh Allen guy, but that was just an awful performance by him. And he's probably going to lead the league this year in turnovers, is my guess. So
I think because of this game, yeah, but I don't think I think the Jets just have his number. I think it's just a bad matchup for him.
He tried to force the balls downfield were awful. Those were terrible
bad
decisions.
They were bad.
But yeah, getting back to the Dolphins, well coached, Vic Fangio, yeah. Bringing in a veteran defensive coordinator, along with the talent that they already got there. Now you probably should look for another cornerback too, because you do not want to have Eli Apple out there in big time moments. But like Bradley Chubb and like Xavier Howard, you'll get Jalen Ramsey back at some point. Like this team is built to win, and that's not even like mentioning that like how well Tua played. He did throw a pick, but like 466 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's something to talk about. Like 215 for Tyreek Hill. That's crazy. But maybe that's more that the Chargers didn't know how to contain Tyreek Hill. Who knows? But I think the Dolphins after week 1 were the best looking team, and so I think they got this now.
Yeah, I definitely hate that take. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think that's brutal, but that's just me. I think the Bills are way better than the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins will prove it, and I think that their defense is gonna prove that they don't have enough talent there because they gave up 34 points, and the Chargers can sometimes be very inconsistent on offense. I think they're gonna prove that. I still think they have a chance to miss the playoffs. I don't think they're that good of a team. And I don't think Tua was that good. So that's also just me. I think that he flashes a couple games a year, and then he shows off that he's not that great.
But, man was going to be the MVP last year if he didn't get injured. If he didn't, his brain didn't turn to mush 2 times.
I don't think so. But that's just, I think he's who he is. And I don't think he can be elevated. But that's whatever. My hot take, and this is just me coming to reality. This is my life. It fucking sucks when it comes to sports. And it's going to suck for the next 20 years. Jordan Love is the truth, and the Packers will compete for the division this year. Yep, okay. I said it. He looked really good. And yes, it was the Bears defense, but he still led the league in passer rating this week. He did all the right things. Just looks fucking good, and I'm scared. And their schedule's easy, and taking advantage of that third place schedule that they have, they should take advantage of it. And I think that they have a lot of winnable games, and that defense is still really good, and I think that's why that they have a chance to compete for the division.
Yeah,
it sucks, but this is just what's gonna happen. And next 3 years are gonna be fucking ass for sure. And it's week 1 hit so hard because I realized what's happening, and yeah, it's not good. No bueno. It's not good. All right. We're gonna move into Book It with Beef. This year we are gonna do it a little different, so we're gonna do it so we don't have shared picks. And how we're gonna do that is, I'm just gonna pull up a random number generator, and Brandon is gonna guess, he's gonna guess odds or evens, and that's basically it. And then you get to pick if you want to go first or second, and then we're just gonna do a snake draft.
Oh, snake draft! I thought I was just gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, no, let's do that. Okay, let's do that. Yep. And then, obviously, you don't have to take a favorite first. Like, you can take whatever pick you want first.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Odds or evens, Brandon?
Give me odds.
All right. You go first.
First one off the board. We're going underdogs. We are going Jaguars +3 against the Kansas City Chiefs at home. Jaguars, I forgot who. Oh, they played the Colts week 1. Put up 31 points. I think without Travis Kelce, well, he might play. Who knows? Chris Jones just signed a new deal. But like you mentioned in our record predictions, Duval can be a tough place to play, especially with a good team on the other side of the field. So, I'm going Jaguars +3 against the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, I think that it should be favored, in my opinion. I think Travis, probably his knees hurting a little bit from dicking down Taylor Swift a little bit too much. Maybe it's swelling up a little bit more. We'll see. But I'm going to go with favorite. I like this one a lot. And I think it's a great line. So I'm just going to take it. Packers -1.5 at the Falcons in the bank.
Straight cash, homie.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Ooh, in the bank already.
In the bank. Like I said, the Packers are fucking good, and this line is fucking so low. I think they should be 7-point favorites. I think the Falcons are not that good. And I think if you saw how bad Desmond Ridder was throwing the ball, once the Packers key in on the defense, they are going to fucking destroy him. And they're going to put points up on the Falcons' defense, I think. Enough to where they're going to cover at least 1.5, because I think the Packers are going to win this game. I think they're going to absolutely shellac the fucking Falcons. See, this is my fucking realization, and hopefully this is just maybe reverse psychology, but the Packers are going to be good this year. And it fucking sucks. Oh, all right. Your pick, Brad.
Which one do I do next? All right, we are going to do some good old AFC North football. We are going Baltimore, Cincinnati, under 46.5 in the bank.
Straight cash, homie.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Obviously, Bengals looked like complete shit in week 1 against a good Browns defense. The Ravens lose J.K. Dobbins for the season already, which is unfortunate, but it's crazy how it happens to him every year.
That man has a depressing career.
He does. He's got to be contemplating retirement at this point.
You would think.
But Ravens only put up 25 against the Texans. So I like... And AFC North football, they like to be staunch on defense. Rivalries run thick, and they don't give up many points in these. So yeah, Baltimore, Cincinnati, 46.5 in the bank.
Yeah, not bad. I'm gonna go over. Seattle at Detroit, 49.5. I think the Seahawks will rebound a little bit after last week. I don't think they can play as bad, especially with the second half they had. And Detroit's going to be buzzing. Coming off that week 1 win, they're going to be buzzing. And I think it's just going to be a shootout like last year. Points. All right, Brian.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's see. We are going to go Cleveland -2.5 at the Steelers. Cleveland just looked like an absolute force against a better Bengals team than what the Steelers are. I think that Kenny Pickett is going to get messed up by Myles Garrett, and if he doesn't get sacked, he's going to throw at least 1 pick. So yeah,
all right.
I'd bet a turnover for Kenny Pickett.
All right. I'm gonna go under. Washington at Denver, 38.5. Broncos still can't score points. Good defenses. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory there. All right, your last pick, Brandon.
Chargers and Titans over 45.5. Titans only put up 15 points. Ryan Tannehill looked pretty bad against the Saints. They had opportunities to win that game, and he couldn't go through. But still, Derrick Henry looked pretty good. The So if they can get 2 touchdowns, I trust the Chargers to do the rest of the scoring against a pretty average Titans defense. So 45.5 seems kind of like a lot to ask, but I'll still go with that over.
Hey, you really gave some compelling points that really pointed to that they're not going to score 45.5 points.
It's all that reverse psychology.
Yeah.
I don't need reasons. I just win.
Oh my God. My dog is Sunday Night Football. Patriots plus 2.5. I think that your little spiel about the Dolphins is complete farce. I think that Bill Belichick is going to put fucking Tua in a what are those a straight jacket. And I think that the Patriots look good against the Eagles last week. And I think that they look good again. I don't think they're going to start 0-2. I think that they have a better team than people make it out to be. And especially if they have pass catchers, like Kendrick Bourne played really well. If they can have someone, a reliable target for Mac Jones, run the ball with Ramondre and Zeke. I don't know. I just like the Patriots this week. I don't home underdogs against a divisional opponent. That screams Patriots all day.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Eventually, me and Brandon will come up with a punishment for who is the loser. Or not a punishment, I guess. It's more a reward for the winner from the other person. Eventually, we'll come up with that, and we'll get that to you guys. All right. Well, football is here. It's happy times. But also, I'm fucking so sad. Oh, Brandon, I don't even want to, shell out how I feel about the Vikings, because it's sad. It is so sad.
Oh, well.
I still think they're going to come out. I think, now this is just not, this is me being more realistic than hopeful. Based off last year, how they played in Philly, and how they played this Sunday, I think they're going to come out with a little bit of fire. Not saying they're going to win. I definitely don't think they're going to win. But I think they're going to come out with some juice this week, not like last year.
So like a 7-point loss is what you're saying, not
I think they could.
21.
I think they could keep it to one score, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes lower than higher than that. Yeah. Oh God. Eventually, I'll just rant about it because it needs to happen eventually, but not now. It's too early.
I think personally, this will probably come out on the Friday after the game, so maybe I'll be right, but I think Kirk Cousins is going to get sacked 4+ times.
I don't think that's crazy to say. I think that's pretty normal. Honestly, this is a normal day at the office for good old Kirk.
Yeah.
Especially if Bradbury's out, which it looks like he's going to be.
That could be one of my hot takes. Kirk Cousins retires after this year since he's been hit too much.
Dude, he might die this season. He already got hit 11 times. That's just nuts.
That flak jacket ain't going to save you today.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's going to do it for us here at Certified Beef. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Woo!